Kristen with My Ag Life, and I'm here with J.W. Lemons, and he's with Verdesian Life Sciences, and we are at the AIE conference in Modesto. And J.W. just gave a really good talk on the importance of IPM and how it can help pest stress and diseases. And can you just start by telling us how good IPM keeps trees healthy and why that's so important?
Yeah, the part of the IPM that I talk about the most is plant nutrition because it's in the definition of IPM. It's probably the most underused thing that we have. And with all the pesticides that we have that we lose on an annual basis, if we could continue to use those active ingredients for a longer period of time without the loss, because we get the insects just say, that's all right, I'm going to eat that stuff now. So no longer has any resistance left to or active capabilities in the pesticides. I know that's a mouthful, but the thing of it is if you keep the plant healthy, you keep the cell structure healthy, keep the color right, the bright greens, all of that is going to play in reducing the amount of pesticides that we have to use. I'm not saying we don't use pesticides because we need those as well, but it's supposed to be integrated pest management, and cultural practices are just as important, as far as I'm concerned, as the poisons.
Yeah, absolutely. So can you talk a little bit about some of the strategies to prevent stress-related pest damage in trees? Maybe go into the IPM a little bit more.
Absolutely. Where I'm at now, we use an extensive amount of biostimulants, and biostimulants are the unsung hero right now. As far as I'm concerned, we don't use them enough because of the plant pathology effects that we have. We can change the cellular structure of the plant. We can change the capability of the plant to have its own systemic immune resistance by stimulating certain enzymes and genes and metabolites within the plant. We can create a natural barrier to a lot of the diseases that attack the plants and the chewing and sucking insects as well.
You mentioned you had a slide about, I don't remember the statistics, but I think you probably do, about if some of these diseases could be better controlled, we could feed something like 600 million more people with the top 5 crops. Can you talk about?
It's just fungal disease. If you took all the diseases in conjunction, including some of your physical pests and some of the stress mitigation that we need to be doing with drought, cold, wet, too wet of feet, all of those things, the number would be much, much greater. But just on fungal diseases, if we could prevent fungal disease in our plants, reduce it, we could feed 600 million more people. Just in the top 5 food groups in the world, we're losing about $60 billion worth of production a year. So those are just some numbers, statistics that change every year. They're probably larger than that. This program I put on a few years ago, I did not change those numbers, but I'm sure they're higher.
Yeah, I thought that was a really crucial fact that people should think about, especially as we're just trying to feed the world.
Absolutely.
Like I said, you are with Verdesian. Can you talk a little bit about how your products support growers with the IPM practices? I know you mentioned you're a big proponent of potassium for starters.
Yes. We have a 280 product portfolio, so to cover all that is ridiculous. But biostimulants, again, that's one of my strongest go-tos because I know through the biostimulant, stimulating the plant's growth, the plant's fruit development, the flower set, all of those different things that we are trying to do to continue the increase of production to meet the needs. We've got less and less land, so every input that we use, whether it's a pesticide, whether it's basic fertilizer, our irrigation system, every one of those inputs can be enhanced by manipulating the plant a little bit, and production can continue to grow. Prime example is years ago, 1,000 pounds per acre was thought to be huge in almonds. If a guy's not making 3,000 pounds, 3,500 pounds now, he's really not making money. So keep that in mind. Times are changing, production's going up. We can't produce the same amount of grapes on a table grape plant that we used to 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It has to be more, it has to be better. So we have to keep things in mind like just shelf life. I concentrate with some of my products to enhance the shelf life of a cherry by 7 more days. If I can do that's a full week more. I've got to transport that cherry to the market and get it on the shelf and keep it viable and not wrinkled and shriveled and lose its taste and consistency. So things like that. We have a lot of things going on. We have some plant fermentation technology I don't see anything out there right now in my world that can mitigate stress like it does, changing the balance in the reactive oxygen species to where it's more balanced and the plant can weather the weather better.